Greek life is on pause here at UTC, and free speech advocates say that's not right.
Plus, we have new details on the active shooter hoax and the new software police at the campus used to resolve the situation.
I'm Zach Lewis.
And I'm Janie Brown. Your news starts now. UTC officials announced a temporary ban on all Greek life activities. This follows a report of multiple hazing incidents last year, with 2 pledge members being hospitalized with severe second-degree burns. The investigation of that hazing, along with reports of sexual battery linked to fraternities, added to the severity for reform. Dr. Artania Wesley is the Vice Chancellor for Enrollment Management at Student Affairs.
She stated in the official memo sent out that the incidents, quote, do not reflect the values of UTC or our Greek life community. However, it highlights the news to pause, reflect, and take meaningful steps to ensure the health and safety of all students. All Greek members must attend a mandatory meeting on Tuesday, September 2nd at 5 p.m. in McKenzie Arena. The temporary ban won't be lifted until Friday, September 5th.
The Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, otherwise known as FIRE, sent a letter to Chancellor Bruce this week urging a lift to the Greek life suspension. The letter accuses UTC of violating students' right to the First Amendment and unfairly punishing Greek members with no involvement in the incidents. FIRE is requesting UTC officials to respond by Friday, August 29th, confirming the lift.
The suspect in the case of alleged sexual battery on a UTC student appeared in court this week. 18-year-old Jacob Powell is accused of sexually fondling the student 2 weeks ago. They met at a Sigma Chi fraternity party. A witness said both were intoxicated. Powell will be back in court on October 21st.
Police both at UTC and with Chattanooga continue to investigate reports of drink spiking. UTC police are investigating the report 2 weeks ago of a possible aggravated assault by poisoning, commonly referred to as drink spiking. The victim was a UTC student. Last recalled, she was at an off-campus party. The victim later got medical attention at a local emergency room. Chattanooga police reported similar incidents. One involved a woman who is not a UTC student. She last remembered being at a local bar called Shady's Corner. She reported being drugged and assaulted. A suspect has been arrested in that case.
A shooter opened fire with a rifle Wednesday through the windows of a Catholic church in Minneapolis. That struck some of the nearly 200 children celebrating Mass during the first week of school. 2 were killed and 17 others injured in an act of violence the police chief called, quote, absolutely incomprehensible. 23-year-old Robin Westman shot dozens of rounds through the windows towards the children sitting in the pews. Police said Westman then died by suicide. They say Westman attended the school in the past and was obsessed with killing children.
A campus organization will lead a protest on gun control. The UTC Civic Engagement Club is the group behind it. Students will meet at the library on September 3rd at 4 p.m. Protesters will march to the Chattanooga courthouse in order to make their voices heard. Their flyer says, quote, this is a protest against state laws, not the law enforcement, police, or UTC PD. No violence or hate speech will be tolerated. We are learning more about last week's fake call to our campus.
Treasurer Cassidy also has details on software that helped end the situation quickly.
Both the nature of the call and artificial intelligence help resolve the situation quickly.
Our dispatch office, which is just right behind us, received what's called a CAD card, or computer-aided dispatch card, as well as a telephone call from the 911 center, the county 911 center, telling us that we had a potential active shooter on campus. Once that happened, obviously our officers were at the UTC library, which was where the initial call came in about, within 30 seconds to a minute, depending on where they were on campus. There were no, on the call there were reports of gunfire, and that's what dispatchers were hearing at the 911 center. When officers arrived on scene, there were no sounds of gunfire. So normal response, as people will learn when they take our armed intruder course, whether it be here or elsewhere, as well as during training for police officers, is that you go towards the sounds of gunfire because you want to make sure that your first goal is to preserve life, and that's making sure that you eliminate the threat that's going on. During that time, we received a call that there may be the armed assailant may have moved to the university center, so we immediately diverted some of the officers there. And then some of the officers had heard from the Chattanooga police that there may be a call coming in from Fletcher Hall. Obviously, folks were, all three of those buildings were fully checked and cleared. So Volt is our AI camera detection tool. Not a person watching, but a computer watching, telling us here's a potential concern that's going on. So on the day, or last week on Thursday, we found that initially there were no alerts from Volt. We found that there were no alerts from Volt until officers got on scene. So once officers got on scene, that was the first alert in the system as their weapons were drawn, that there was a potential gun in the area. So that was one of the many reasons, or one of the many facets that we realized potentially this isn't an active or real emergency. But again, until we make sure that there's not something going on, we're not going to proceed forward. When we're moving towards the all clear, though, that was a huge factor, because not only was the cameras not seeing anything through Volt and then through us checking, but there was nothing found by the officers that responded. Our hope is to make sure we're picking things up before they happen, and that we can address them to make sure folks are taken care of and protected.
The hoax at UTC was the first in a wave of phony calls that swept universities across the nation. These are some pictures from a false alarm on Monday at the University of Arkansas. On that day alone, law enforcement responded to calls claiming active shooters at Arkansas, Northern Arizona University, Iowa State, Kansas State, the University of Colorado Boulder, and the University of New Hampshire. More calls were made Tuesday at the University of Kentucky, West Virginia, and Central Georgia Technical College. We have been spoiled by this cool weather.
Will it last for this holiday weekend? Our Dean DeSilva has the answer for us.
This weekend, we can expect some beautiful weather with sunny skies and highs in the mid-80s. Next week, it gets a little crazy, though, with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms expected. Nothing extreme, though. We can expect cooler temperatures with highs in the upper 70s and lows in the low 60s. Make sure to bring your umbrella.
Israeli airstrikes hit a hospital in southern Gaza Monday, killing 5 journalists, according to the health officials. One of them was a visual journalist who had been freelancing for the AP News. She had reported just days earlier on starving children being treated in that same facility. 2 airstrikes hit Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis within minutes. Video shows journalists and rescue workers running to the first blast before a second, more powerful explosion hit an interior staircase. In total, 20 people were killed, according to the Gaza Health Ministry.
Do you have an interest in debating politics, law, and/or media? Would you like to learn how our state government works while building leadership and networking skills? Well, the Tennessee Intercollegiate State Legislature is the right place for you. The TISL-UTC is looking to recruit new members for the 2025 year. Interest meetings will be held on September 2nd and 3rd at 6:30 p.m. in the library, room 207. To learn more about TISL, check out our Mocs Sync or follow their Instagram page at TISL-UTC.
College football is kicking off this week, and the Tennessee teams are ready to make their mark.
We've got the latest on UTC's season opener, Volunteers coach Josh Heupel's contract extension, and how early season quarterback decisions are shaping teams across college football.
UTC football kicks off its season this Saturday afternoon on the road against Memphis. Head coach Rusty Wright enters his 6th year, aiming to become the first coach in program history with 6 straight winning seasons. The Mocs are led by a veteran group on the offensive side and a defense built on toughness and chemistry. Memphis counters with a roster loaded with transfer talent and veteran playmakers, making for a challenging Week 1 matchup. Kickoff is set for 4:30 p.m. Eastern at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium in Memphis. Tennessee football coach Josh Heupel has signed a 1-year contract extension through January 2030. Athletic director Danny White announced the deal, crediting Heupel with reviving a program that went 3-7 in 2020 before his arrival. Heupel has posted a 37-15 record in 4 seasons, including 11-2 finish in 2022. The extension keeps his $9 million salary in place, but doubles his access to private or charter flights from 5 to 10 per year. The 24th ranked Volunteers and Heupel look to make a statement starting this Saturday in Atlanta. As you may know, Tennessee recently named Joey Aguilar as their starting quarterback for the 2025 season. The Volunteers' decision comes as college football teams across the country navigate quarterback choices. Earlier this week, the University of Michigan announced they will start true freshman Bryce Underwood. He's one of the nation's top recruits, and he's projected to earn $15 million in NIL deals over 3 years.
That's this edition of Mocs News. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to keep up with us on our Facebook page.
We are also on Instagram and YouTube. Have a great weekend.